Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'd like to share with you how to crochet this lovely textured hat. It's done using a chunky yarn or a bulky yarn by ARAN. I would say though it's more on an ARAN weight, so I used a 5mm hook. The starting chains you need are worked in multiples of 8 plus 5, and I started with a total of 45 chains. So it's worked in a panel and then sewn up at the end. And the way the pattern lays, you can hardly see the join at all. In fact, I can't find it. Right, let's get started. Make a length of 45 chains. Ignore the loop on your hook, skip the first chain, and then work a slip stitch into the second chain from your hook, like so. And in the next stitch, another slip stitch. In the next stitch, another slip stitch, and then your fourth slip stitch in the next chain. So now we have a total of 4 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next we're going to work a half double crochet into each of the next 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then slip stitch into each of the next 4 stitches, or the next 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue this sequence to the end, and you should end with 4 slip stitches, just as you began with 4 slip stitches. So 4 slip stitches, 4 half double crochets, 4 slip stitches, 4 half double crochets, 4 slip stitches to the end of the row. Once you've reached the end of the row with your final 4 slip stitches, chain 1 and turn. And row 2 is the same as row 1 with just a slight difference. To start, insert your hook in the first stitch under both loops of that stitch. Yarn over, pull through and pull through again to complete your first slip stitch. You may need to pinch and just slightly rotate your work to find the back loop, which is just here. This is where we're going to insert all our stitches across each row from now on. So that's our second slip stitch, third slip stitch, fourth slip stitch. Now we need to work half double crochets, half double crochet into the back loop only of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next you're ready to work slip stitches, a slip stitch into each of the next 4 stitches. This is how it's looking. So you repeat this all the way across. 4 slip stitches, 4 half double crochets into the back loop only, all the way to the end, and you should end with 4 slip stitches. The only thing is your very last slip stitch needs to go under both loops of the top of the stitch. So I'm almost at the end of row 2. This is my 3rd slip stitch going into the back loop, and now we need to go under both loops of this stitch, the last stitch, with a slip stitch. So row 1 and 2 are the same. Rows 3 and 4 are very similar, except you chain 1 and start with a half double crochet this time instead of your slip stitches. So go straight into that first stitch under both loops and complete your first half double crochet. Then the second half double crochet goes into the back loop, as does the third. And the fourth. And yes, we now need to do 4 slip stitches into the back loops only. And you repeat this all the way across. And I'll meet you at the end. So continue working in groups of 4, 4 half doubles, 4 slip stitches, 4 half doubles, and you should end with 4 half doubles. So I've just completed the last 3 half doubles in the back loop, and now we need to complete the 4th half double crochet in the last stitch under both loops. This gives a nice neat edge to your project. Go. Now for row 4, we once again do a chain, turn, and work a half double crochet into the very first stitch under both loops, and continue as we did in round 3, working the remaining 3 half double crochets into the back loops. And then you work your 4 half double crochets, your 4 slip stitches again into the back loops of the next 4 stitches. And you continue this to the end, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. This is how it's looking. So at the end of row 4, work your final half double crochet under the top of the 2 loops there. Okay, so this is our 4 row repeat completed. As you can see, this is the right side, and this is how it's looking. Okay, so carry on with this until your work measures approximately 18 inches, and you will end up with something like, I will just get the swatch here, not the swatch, the actual hat. And here we have, it's worked in a slightly different yarn, this one. So we've got total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 4 row repeats. I'll just recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yes, 18 4 row repeats. And you can see the 4 row repeats each time you have a little wave. Right, so once you've completed this length of the hat, you then put the right side down and sew up the seam just here, all the way up. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So just thread the yarn and bring the pieces together like so. You can see here we've got a little row of the tops of the stitches, so we could potentially just come underneath here. It really doesn't matter how you do this, but I found this way works quite well. And then going underneath the second stitch on this side, and then just working up like this. Just a case of matching it up as best you can. You can see here, that works quite nicely. And then here we could go underneath this one and just pick up here, because we don't have a little V-stitch here. And then we could come underneath the V just here. So work your way up all the way to the top. Just turn the work however feels comfortable for yourselves, and just sew and match up all these little dips and peaks as you go, and I'll meet you once we're at the top. So I finished sewing up the seam. As you can see, it's almost imperceptible. Okay, so now we need to gather the hat at the top. So we've still got the right side facing, and don't go too near the edge for this. Just do some nice big stitches. I would say about 2 stitches down, and just go underneath where the little raised stitches are, all the way round, like so. Okay, so go ahead and I'll meet you when you've finished going all the way round. Okay, so I've worked my way round, and now it's just a case of pulling this yarn and easing this round, bringing it closed like so. So just tightening nicely, making sure all these are facing up as best you can get it, and just keep pulling. You do have to pull it quite tight, not too tight that you snap the yarn, until it bunches up like so. You'll feel when it won't go anymore, and then just pinch and pop your needle through again and tighten. Again, giving it a nice tug. And you just hold it as best you can, making sure you secure all this really nicely. So I think that's quite a good job done there. And then all you do is you pop your needle in, down through the centre, and you can then fasten that off inside, make it nice and neat, or like I'm going to do now, because I'm adding a pom-pom. So with this design, because it's quite gathered at the top, it really does need a pom-pom. It's not like you've worked in the round. So yes, we do need a little pom-pom on here. So all I'm going to do now is get the pom-pom. This is one I got off Amazon, and they've come with a little loop in. So I'm just going to thread my yarn through there, and as I want to remove this when I wash it, I am going to just go straight into the centre just there. And what I might do is just snip that and then re-sew it on as I wash it. And there we go. And I'll just secure this down inside now. I'm sure you all know how to sew on a pom-pom, but this is just for those of you who might need to have a little peep at what I'm doing. There we go. So just do a couple of stitches to secure it. And then snip the yarn. And then here we have the pom-pom, and here we have, let's zoom out, the nice little rim for the hat. So I hope you agree. It's quite a nice little project, and if you've enjoyed, please give this a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, it'd be great if you would, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. So thank you again for watching. As you can see, it is a lovely little design, so stretchy and so cozy. Okay, look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.